town for this one. Great to have you with us, everybody, live on 2K Sports alongside Steve. For the Detroit Pistons, they come in off the loss to the 76ers in Philadelphia.
Yeah, they gave away a lot of points at the free throw line in that game. Maybe it was being on the road, maybe they were just out of sync, but something had them rattled.
Steve, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but clearly the misses from the stripe had an impact.
So for Toronto right now, Lowry and Amir Johnson at the 4 with Valanciunas at the pivot. And it's Johnson in at the 3 slot. Magicians checked in for Toronto. Pistons leading by 8. Jennings dishes to Monroe. It's back to Jennings. In low to Monroe. Shot's good. Jennings making the play. Jennings has got 4 assists in the game.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
Johnson off the pick from Graves. And it's Johnson penetrating. Outside Lowry. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Graves. Jennings with the rebound. Detroit's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Feeds it to Monroe. Pass to Mitchell. Back to Monroe. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. We've got a second, so we'll bring up a list of shooting guards that have been red hot at the free throw line over the past month. Second is Wesley Matthews.
Well, we've gotten used to seeing a lot of terrific free throw shooters from the 2-guard spot, but even so, it shouldn't take away from what these players have been able to do up there.
Yeah, that's right, because all they have done up there is convert their chances. That's it, plain and simple. These are the steadiest hands you're going to find, not just at their position, but in the league overall.
Here's Graves. And again, Toronto no up.
Boy, for my taste, he's far too inconsistent with that shot. I mean, he's got to make those if he's going to take his game to the next level.
And Meeks kicks to Augustine. Pass break. Here come the Raptors. Ahead. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession.
Here's a look at some stats for Greivis Vasquez. His last 10 games, he's putting up 5 points a game, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. And I think the playmaking really stands out to me that he's been doing it. So many times the plays he can generate seem to change the momentum of the game.
I agree wholeheartedly there. I mean, it's underestimated what his passing brings to this team.
Pistons leading by 8. In low to Monroe. That's in. Augustine with the assist. 10 points for Greg Monroe.
And the early lead just keeps on growing. Another basket.
And the way they've done it is with an extremely potent inside attack.
Patterson can't get it to go. Now Detroit moving it up. 43 seconds left in the first quarter. Monroe with a screen on Ross. So the wing on the left. Thorpe kicks to Meeks. Shoots from 12. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
In terms of rebounding, it's been a sensational opening quarter.
I like sensational. That's a good word for it.
Unloads from 13. And Thorpe pulls it down. Smith inside. He's against Hansbrough. Shot from 12. Can't get it to go.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but maybe that's not his range.
Here for Detroit. Monroe's checked in for Andre Drummond. Mitchell comes in for Smith. And it's Jody Meeks in for Caldwell Pope. Tyler Hansbrough's checked in for the Raptors. Magician comes in for Ross. So for Toronto right now, Vasquez and DeRozan are in the backcourt. Patrick Patterson is out there with the Magician. And it's Hansbrough in at the center, filling out the middle. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, Magician in the last matchup against the Nuggets provided a nice lift. He ended with 7 points and added 3 rebounds as well. A bit of a surprise attack for him, as he is usually just... almost regarded as a role player on his team.
Doris, thank you. Well, guys, he made play after play in that game.
Well, as he often does, Kevin, and we'll see. Maybe he'll explode again tonight because the momentum that he took away from that game, he's got to be feeling confident.
Well, I don't know if it'll carry over, but clearly the fact that you have a high-level performance in your recent memory bank has to do you some good. And like you said, Steve, we'll find out tonight whether it continues.
And Meeks kicks to Augustine. Monroe sets a screen for Augustine. Dishes to Meeks. 11 feet away, and there's Augustine. That's good on the assist by Meeks.
Risky shot there, size-wise, but he easily comes out on the short end of the stick, so to speak.
With the nice high release, he had no problem getting it off and knocking it down.
Here's Graves, and another basket for Toronto.
Well, the shots are starting to fall a little bit more than they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, they say it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive in golf. Well, a shaky start can be overcome because now they're starting to heat up.
That's good. 14 points for Craig Monroe.
Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
Vasquez passes to DeRozan. Here's Patterson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark.
2 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Matthews, no good.
Really good offensive execution. Nice pick, just couldn't get the shot to go.
Boy, you love to see that as a basketball purist. Guy setting a good screen and then getting the shot opportunity.
Here's Graves. Misses the chippy right there.
And a missed opportunity right there.
Definitely, I think he should have converted that one.
And the...
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, guys, let's talk about that first half. We've given this crowd...
The second half just about to go. Contavious Caldwell-Pope comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Toronto also making a switch. Terrence Ross is checked in for DeMar DeRozan. Josh Smith and Greg Monroe at the 3 and 4. Jennings out there with Contavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Drummond in at the center. That's the group for Detroit right now. Ross with it. Now Smith defending. Not watching the line. In that court violation. Magicians checked in for Johnson.
Into the lineup for the Raptors.
Lowry against Jennings.
Graves.
Drummond with a screen on Lowry. Jennings kicks to Smith. Kicks it out to Jennings. Monroe dishes to Drummond. Puts up the runner and hits. Drummond's got 9.
Good ball move. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
Lowry passes to Valanciunas. Here's Magician. Rebounded by the Pistons. Drummond's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Jennings. 12 points for him. Drummond sets the screen for Jennings. Now the feed to Smith. The baseline J. And the jumper falls for him.
They're going to have to tighten up defensively, guys, because they're really giving up way too many open looks.
Lowry gets a screen from Graves. Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. Good work defensively by Monroe.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
And I'll tell you what, they've turned a lot of those rebounds into points at the other end.
Great tee that time from Graves. Raptors trail by 15. Here's Ross. That falls. Nice speed that time from Kyle Lowry.
Assisted by
Ross has got his second basket of the game. Jennings against Lowry. Jennings kicks to Monroe. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
That's his first.
And let's focus briefly on an area we often overlook. Point guard rebound. Here are the leaders in that category over the past 10 games. fourth, Kyle Lowry.
And it may not be the first thing you think about, but if you look at a lot of the all-time great point guards, rebounding was always a big part of their game.
Yeah, I think that's true, Steve. It's not a necessary attribute for a point guard. But the ability to rebound is something that took a few of the greats to another level entirely, and it helps your team, too.
And Augustine kicks to Monroe. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Can't pass up that kind of look.
Last game for the Raptors, they picked up the W against the Denver Nuggets.
And they made their mark defensively that day. That was what was, I think, most impressive. Really caused a lot of problems in the paint.
Well, they spent a lot of that game in the air and got their hands on a lot of shots.
And Toronto making a change here. DeRozan's checked in. The Raptors shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, they've just been an ordinary team in terms of free throw shooting this year, guys. About 75%.
The numbers from the line, guys, are close to where they were last year. But just a tad worse, so not too bad. An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
Well, they continue to find the open man and play unselfishly. This is true team basketball we're seeing.
Vasquez gets a screen from Graves. Was on the wing. Releases from 15. Cannot hit. Got it up. The shot is off. And now a brief chance to view our State Farm assist of the game. Andre Drummond comes in for Greg Monroe. And it's Smith in for Wesley Matthews. A new group in now for the Raptors. Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in for Patterson. Magician comes in for Johnson. James Johnson's checked in for Terrence Ross. And it's Lowry in for Vasquez. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Lowry and DeRozan, they're the backcourt. Magician is out there with Jonas Valanciunas. And it's Johnson in the 3.
Super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score, so that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it. When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Pistons foul. Thornton. That's his first personal foul.
So the first one drops, and that narrows the gap to 7.
2 shots.
So Johnson hits 2 of them. And now we've got the intentional foul.
James Johnson. That's his second personal foul.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
DJ Augustine.
And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good. Here's Graves. No good there. And so the Pistons take the win.